Hello everyone, you are back again with Ada Derana BIZ 24. When we talk about Sri Lanka's economy, we know about the contributions of banking sector. People's Bank is one of the biggest bank that strengthen and empower Sri Lanka's economy. Not only that, it is an institution with most customers and touches people's heart. That is why we call it the pride of the nation. Now you know what we are going to talk about in today's episode. To have this discussion, we have the chairman at People's Bank, Professor Narada Fernando. We warmly welcome you, sir. And also, we have Chief Executive Officer, General Manager at People's Bank, Clive Fonseka. We warmly welcome you too, sir.
Thank you.
So, we will indeed talk about People's Bank, but before that, I would love to set the ground by asking you, Chairman, about your overview on overall Sri Lanka's economy and its intermediate properties.
Yes, so thank you for the invitation. And if we start with the economy, so we all know that from 2022, so we had a severe attack on our economy, crisis. So with that, so we got the support from extended finance from IMF and even other countries like India and other countries. And so what we wanted to do that we want to maintain that macroeconomic stability. So then price stability, even maybe the employment, and so maintaining our currency like that. But still we are going with some reforms. Even at the moment, so this macro economy, it's still at the fragile, because that we can see that if we are not maintaining that stability among the country, again we are in the trouble. So there are, what I believe that mainly we have to focus on several areas. So when we go into debt restructuring, which is almost completed, but we have to move few more steps, and at the same time maintaining the employability in the country, because we saw a lot of people, especially professionals and academics, so they are moving away from our country, so they wanted to locate in other countries, and maintaining our currency stable and appreciate it, and diversify our manufacturing and export especially. So those are the main areas we have to look on. So otherwise, we cannot survive with these issues. And one of the main thing I am seeing that in this South Asian region, our country having the highest age population. By 2040, 1 out of every 4 may be in that category. So we should have a strategy how we can overcome all these things. So in overall, so now we are moving towards the better position, better economy, but it takes some more time to stabilize with the upgraded economy.
All right. So, CEO, I would love to know how has been People's Bank performance, overall performance in 2025?
So let me start this way. So People's Bank is a very unique organization. Why I'm telling that? So first of all, if you look at the CRIP data, 1 out of 5 individuals or institutions have availed for a facility from People's Bank. That means for 20% of the population, we have provided some kind of facility one way or another. We have 15.5 million customers. That's about 70% of the population of this country. We have 751 branches all over the country. Most of the branches are in very rural areas, which is very essential for the general public. If you look at the digital customers of People's Bank, that's almost nearly 4 million. So that is by far the highest digital customer base. So why the performance is important? So let me tell you the context. So like the chairman mentioned, he was talking about 22-23. In 2022, the profits that we made for the whole year was 17 billion. 23, it was 10 billion. So by June this year, we have achieved profit after tax of 18.8 billion. That is by far the best ever results In fact, that is higher than the full year profits of 22 and 23. So this is in spite of what I said earlier. So we are serving almost a wide range of customers from individuals, micro sort of a company, SME, corporate or conglomerate or even a SOE. So in spite of all this, I think we have achieved this. I think that's a testament for the hard work of our staff. So that is something very significant.
And Chairman, a customer might think why we should choose People's Bank over a private bank. So what are the reasons you highlight when it comes to choosing People's Bank over a private bank?
Yes, rather than comparing with the private bank, so if I compared it with the entire banking industry, so what I believe that so we are having the highest number of branches and service centers in country. So at present we are moving with more than 751 branches all over Sri Lanka. So our accessibility to every corner of the country, so that is very easy for us. And the other thing that as a state bank, so always these people or our customers, they are having a trust on us. So if we are moving in a difficult stage, still that we are having the backing of government. So there is one more thing why they are selecting People's Bank. And at the same time that, so if you take the digital customers, so we are having the highest digital presence in the entire banking industry. It is more than 300,000 people, those who are connected with us for this digital banking. With all these, what I believe that the people, the customers, they are connected with People's Bank. Not only that, the way we are treating our customers, so we are going to from major towns to villages, rural areas. So we have to treat each of them in an equal manner. So we are having training programs even for our people, those who are working with the People's Bank. So how you can treat your customers. So there may be some points you can find some faults or the errors with the system, but still the majority of them working with all the public, especially these rural areas, in very friendly manner. So that is why they are searching for People's Bank, and especially in every corner you can see the pride of the nation, People's Bank.
And CEO, as a state bank, what are the challenges that People's Bank faced and how it has been overcoming those challenges?
See, People's Bank was established 64 years back in 1961. The main purpose of establishing the bank was to uplift the rural poor. So People's Bank, I think, exceeded the expectations, and actually we brought the banking services to the common man. At that time, the banking was only accessible to the urban areas and to the rich. So a person could come into a bank and interact in Sinhalese or Tamil because of People's Bank. Then apart from that, most of the new features, the female accounts for females, the accounts for children, even the pawning facilities have been initiated by People's Bank. So so I think that way we have supported the government and the population of Sri Lanka, and our main motive is not profits. So profits are important because we understand we are benchmarked against other state-owned banks and the private banks. So we have that mandate. So we have been fulfilling that for over 64 years successfully. So if you ask for the challenges, so one of the major challenges is along with the IMF agreements. So there has been a change in our business business model. So earlier the model was basically we used to collect deposits and lend it to the SOEs, so that ultimately the general population got the benefits. Now because of the IMF agreements, the tariff structure is of SOEs are mainly on a cost plus basis. So there's not much of a requirement for SOEs to borrow from state banks. So then we have to adapt ourselves. So now there's a requirement for us to go and lend to the private sector. So I mean private sector means individuals, SMEs, micro, development for lending for development purposes, corporates, then conglomerates and even SOEs. So I mean to a certain extent. So I think we have been fulfilling that. I think the results are as of 2022, 56% of our loans and advances were for the SOEs. Right now, it is less than 25%. So I think we have fulfilled the requirements and we have faced the challenges, I think, very successfully. So I think the funds are going to the needy areas of the economy so that, young entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, so they have access for finance facilities from People's Bank. For instance, if you take young entrepreneurs, we provide them funding at 7%. Even for female entrepreneurs, there are schemes from 8%. So these are not profitable, but as a state bank, because it's our mandate to empower the needy areas. So I think we've been very successful. So that challenge we have been facing really successfully.
If there's no challenge, there's no success as well.
Indeed.
So we will talk about this and we will have this discussion furthermore. But before that, let us take a short break. You are back again with Ada Derana BIZ 24. We were talking about People's Bank success, challenges and their overall performances. So now we will talk about how does the People's Bank contribute to the overall Sri Lanka's economy. I'll ask the questions from the chairman.
Yes, so when we take that economic progress, we can discuss it in many fields, many areas. But mainly, what I believe with the People's Bank, that financial inclusion is one of the main. Because we are having, as I mentioned earlier, the highest number of branch network throughout the country, and we are serving more than 15 million population of the customers with the bank accounts. So we are having a total population around 22 million. That indicates that if we take 2 out of 3, so they are working with the People's Bank. So that is how we reach with the people, inclusion, so they can reach our branches. And if we take economic development, that the SME sector, because that even the government believe that the private sector has having the potential growth of this economy, and we are supporting them. So one of the main sectors we are targeting, that is SME. So we are supporting in many ways in different financial products and different schemes we are available with the People's Bank. And at the same time, for the government requirements, especially for import of coal, fertilizer, oil, so all these things the bank supported. And if you can remember the difficult time period in 2020, 2023, so all those time periods, as a state bank, so we were in forefront for supporting all these importation and the livelihood of this country. And at the same time, so government having some of the projects in Sri Lankan economy, we are going with some of the projects. Especially I can mention, recently government started that dream destinations. So they want to develop or refurbish 100 railway stations. So even we have taken some of the railway station, and so we are connected with some other parties to refurbish and renovate this 4th railway station, and we are working for that. That is how we are supporting the government and this economy. And not only that, if we take that our contribution to education and health, as a state bank, as so Clive very correctly mentioned, so we are not targeting only profit, so we are supporting them. And even recently we work with the Colombo University Medical Faculty. So we renovated their girls hostel, actually that is built by the People's Bank, and this year, in this month, we renovate it and open. The cost is somewhere around more than 11 million. So what we believe, more than profit, we are contributing to this country for the development and our CSR activities. So that comes under our CSR activity. We are having that. So main arm as Mahajana Mehevara. So that is the theme we are going with CSR activities. And especially for the youth, young generation, we are providing loan schemes. Women entrepreneurs, we are providing special packages for them. So that's how we are contributing to the development of this country and the government and the economy.
So CEO, I would love to know, how has People's Bank been adapting to evolving to dynamics of the market and also the customer requirements?
So right now there is a requirement from the young executives to mainly for housing purposes and for some sort of a consumer type of funding. Then on the other hand, there is a requirement from the young entrepreneurs to look at new ventures. So we've seen there is a trend among the young population to move away from the sort of fixed jobs and go into operations on their some business ventures on their own. So we've seen a lot of, coffee sort of a coffee shop type ventures or even beauty parlors coming up. So mainly to cater to that, so we have come up with various loan schemes. For instance, now if you see, there is a requirement for housing. That is one of the pressing needs of the country. So we have as there was a requirement, we've come up with a 20-year housing facility with a fixed interest rate. So that is very favorable and sort of as to what your sort of interest component is for 20 years, it's not going to change. Then on the other hand, if there's a requirement for a floating rate, that also we do. Then on the other hand, for sort of entrepreneurs, as I mentioned earlier, so for we provide funding starting from 7%. And for females from 8%. So, even for corporates, conglomerates, so, even right now there's a requirement for sort of they are mainly for import exports. We see exports as a priority area. So, we have tailor-made sort of funding facilities for exporters starting at very attractive rates. So, only requirement is the remittance has to come to the bank. So, like that, as and when there's a requirement, so we have a very vast array of products and services. So it's very easy for us to tailor-make that to the requirements of our customers.
So Chairman, you have mentioned about SME sector. So what are the support you give to the SME sector to grow?
Yes. So as I mentioned that we believe that is one of the main sectors we should focus on the development of this economy. So they are that. So we have a lot of products, financial product, loan schemes, so with different names and different rates and different durations. So, but rather than that, I want to emphasize on the area, because that each and every bank, they are providing this loan facility. So that may be SME or maybe a conglomerate in our country. But in People's Bank, what we are doing, that we are connected with them not only with the financial support, so we are providing other supports. That is the specialty in People's Bank. Sometimes they are lacking with their management, administration, marketing, digital services. So we are having a team. So they are evaluating all these SMEs and they are working with these SME people and they are providing all these services. Because we know that in recent past, so because of this economic crisis, so they were in very difficult situation. So only through finance we cannot uplift them. They need the other support. Even that may be relating to export market. And we are connecting with EDB, Export Development Board. We are conducting training programs, especially targeting this SME sector. So that's how we are connected with SME. And not only that, another special thing in banks, I want to emphasize that business revival unit in People's Bank. So where we are connected with difficult people, or maybe they identified as the people, those who cannot make their repayments. And our team work with them, and those who are having the potential, but still they are having the potential, and we work with them and we provide special services. So earlier we are having the experience that when you are due with your payments, the bank is a place that you should never visit. But now that is changing, and with this unit, so what they are doing, So they discuss in the same table, and what are the requirements our customers need, sometimes the rescheduling their loans and providing services, and till they grow up to a stable level, so we are supporting. So that is specialty. And if they requested, so they need more facilities, so that may be for their working capital and for their seed capital, so still we are supporting. So in that way we are connected with SME. So that is where we believe, so that is the growing engine of this economy, because it is our responsibility by 2028. So we have to start all these repayments and everything. So we have to get ready for that. And if we can uplift this economy by another 5 billion USD, maybe from 80 to 85, if we can increase it up to 90 billion USD economy, so we are in a safer situation to match with that target. So that is what we are doing, and we hope that People's Bank can do it, because we are having a very good relationship with SME and all other connected parties, those who are supporting this small and medium scale entrepreneurs.
So finally, CEO, I would love to know, does People's Bank offer any special solutions or any special things to large-scale businesses and export-import clients?
Yes, so large requirements of the large scale corporates are quite diverse. So there is no specific product or service for them. So we tailor make our products and services, funding facilities according to their requirements. So we provide syndicated loans, we provide club loan facilities, or even for project financing, we provide financing, even trade finance, or even facilities. We provide trade finance facilities where our standards are better or on par with any other competing banks. Then on the other hand, we provide funding also to meet their trade financing requirements. So, and how we do it is basically we have 25 regions, and we have credit hubs in each and every region. So a large scale customer of an outstation, there's no need for them to come to Colombo. If they're in Kandy, if they're in Galle, they can basically go to that regional credit hub and get their requirements attended to.
All right. That is very insightful conversation with the People's Bank Chairman, Professor Narada Fernando, and Chief Executive Officer, General Manager of People's Bank, Clive Fonseka. Thank you so much for coming today and have this discussion with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for watching. We will meet again once again. See you soon. Have a good day.